Hi Year 7, Mrs Hudson here, going to talk you through your lesson on public health today. So, your key question, you have a cloaca, the Romans built one, what could it be? So quite an interesting question today, something a bit different. So, our outcome is that you will be able to answer the following question. This is what we're working towards. To what extent did the Romans keep people clean and healthy? And as you can see, there's three kind of sections to this kind of paragraph that I'm going to be expecting you to write. A point sentence, which tells me your argument, evidence to back up your argument, which is the blue section, and then the green section, which is your explanation, which links back to the question. So point, evidence, and explanation. So a couple of quick questions to get you started then. If you can read through the two questions and jot your answers down. If you pause the PowerPoint here, and I will go through the answers shortly. Okay, hopefully understanding that this lesson is linked to public health and keeping people healthy, you will have realised that the answer to both is B. Okay, a part of the body that is used to get rid of excrement and also a massive drain used to get the sewage out of Rome. Okay. So some questions to start us off, and again, I don't mind if you're doing this on a piece of paper or on a Word document, either is fine. I'd like you to answer all three questions. I'd like you to make sure that you actually write these as short paragraphs for each question, not just one sentence answers. I really want you to think about these answers carefully, and often there is more than one. So if you thought of an obvious answer, I want you to sit and think if there's more than one answer, and maybe there's less obvious answers to include. So what do we know causes people to become ill? Can you think of more than one thing? There's quite a few things at the bottom, and perhaps some of the pictures at the bottom will help. What do you think the Romans thought made people ill? Is it the same knowledge that we have today, or do you think it would have been different? And why do we know more about medicine and causes of disease today? So these questions should take you about 10 minutes in total. I do not want one sentence answers, please. Okay, there's a worksheet in the assignments folder which looks like this, and it's going to talk you through 4 aspects of Roman public health. So how the Romans kept their people, healthy. So there's information about public baths, public toilets, the sewage system and aqueducts, and the information's on the worksheet to keep it nice and simple for you. What I'd like you to do is to complete 2 of the further 2 columns. So would this have kept away miasma and bad smells? And would this have got rid of germs, even if they didn't know they existed? So we just need to recap what they believed then at this stage. Now, today we know that the main cause of illness and sickness is germs. Okay, we learnt that in about the 1860s by a man called Louis Pasteur, who discovered germs under a microscope. Before 1860, we did not know about germs. We did not know that they existed. Okay. So people had other beliefs, and one of the main beliefs that had existed since, well, before the Roman times even, was something called miasma. People believed that breathing in bad smells could make them sick. Okay, now this sort of made sense because very often we know now where there's bad smells, there's often germs. So if you think about your bathroom sometimes, if you've got a bad tummy, there's going to be possibly quite a bad smell in there. Breathing in the bad smell is not going to make you poorly though at all. If you were touching the germs and they got into your system, they could make you sick. But often where there are germs, there is a bad smell as well. So what I'd like you to think about is, would a public bath keep away a miasma bad smell? Would it also have got rid of germs? So were they inadvertently keeping themselves healthy, even if it was doing it even though they didn't quite understand why? So 2 columns, this worksheet should take you about 20 to 25 minutes. So again, your answers should be quite detailed and you should be thinking really carefully about this. So our next question is, to what extent did the Romans keep people clean and healthy? Okay, and we're trying to think of this as a continuum line. So did they keep them totally healthy or not at all? Well, people got sick, so it's not going to be totally, and they did do things that helped, so it's not going to be a not at all. It's going to be somewhere in the middle, and I want you to use the evidence that you found out from this lesson so far to make a decision as to what extent they did keep them healthy. I'd like you to choose one of the key words and explain your thinking behind it. Justify your choice. Okay, and there's a little bit to think about there, kind of linking back to that idea of miasma and germs. Can you keep people well and healthy if you don't know what is causing them to be ill? Okay, so just a little bit of something to think about when you're giving me your answer. This question should take you about 5 minutes. Again, it should be a short paragraph rather than a sentence. I really want to see you practicing that justification skill. And our last task here. It might take you over 10 minutes because you're doing it at home, and that's absolutely fine. So I think you could take up to 20 minutes at home to provide a really good piece of work for me, which I will be able to give you feedback to. So these are your sentence openers here. I think that the Romans did not keep people clean and healthy. You need to choose which opinion you would go for. The Romans believed in miasma, which was, please explain it. Therefore, so what did they do to get rid of that miasma smell? This would work to keep them clean and healthy because, so even if they didn't understand that they were getting rid of germs, why would this still work? However, we now know today that something causes disease and illness. We know about these now. Oh, that should have a K on then. I just realised I've made a mistake. We know that should have a K. I do apologise. We know about these because, and then lastly, the Roman methods, therefore, would not have worked because. So 6 different sentence openers to finish off there. Please make sure you put your K on no rather than now, and don't make the same mistake as I have. I'll have to go back and correct that. Once you've completed all your work, it needs to get uploaded into assignments in Teams. Any questions? As always, I am in chat to help you out.